can do it that way, it's fine. Hello everyone. As you can see, I have a new do. Very fat. This video is more or less to talk about that I survived Friday the 13th. Because it was, well, for me, so my sister sent me this thing saying, oh my god, it's like a full moon happening soon, and it's happening in the house of rising Pisces. And I'm like, yeah, and it's quite weird because our relationship growing up in the house, she was always astrology and I was always astronomy. I had the science, she had the spirituality about it all. But recently, obviously with the tarot cards, you guys know, do a bit of tarot now. I'm enjoying more of just the interpretation of what things mean. And because I've been brought up in a world where mother believes everything happens for a reason, and worlds of fate and the laws of karma and all that lot, that I've kind of dabbled a bit more into the spirituality version of the astro side of me. And as you know, astro is me. But so my sister then sends me something that, again, I still blur that line between astrology and astronomy. Because she goes, oh, it's the moon this year, it's rising, it's a harvest moon, it's rising in Pisces. And I'm like, okay. But immediately in my head I go, so all the constellations in the sky are, there are 12 zodiac constellations follow the elliptical. The elliptical or the ecliptic? The ecliptic. Oh my god. Elliptical is the shape of the orbit. Ecliptic is the path the sun takes across the night sky. But if, for example, the sun wasn't as bright as we see it and it would blind our eyes, we would notice, for example, if the sun existed in the same view space as the stars, the constellations in the sky, the sun goes through certain star systems or constellations that we have that make up the 12 zodiac signs. So the sun goes through from the first point of Aries, which essentially is the beginning of the star signs, 21st of March, when the spring equinox, the vernal equinox happens. Then you go through the 12 constellations. You go Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, and then you finish with Pisces. Pisces is the last constellation, the last star sign of 12, which I'm very happy to be a part of. So the moon was going, when the moon became to its full point, the moon was currently in the constellation of Pisces. So that's what that means. When people say like, oh, when you were born or when you have your astrological sign in a certain point, the sun is the main reason why you have your star sign. Because it represents the day, the year, wherever it is in the night sky. The moon, because it orbits 1 month, that's what you call it. That also has a different star sign to you guys. So you have a sun rising, a moon rising, and then you also have all your other planets of the solar system. So you have Mercury, Venus, and your house rising, house ascending. There's so much astrology behind it, based on the physics and the astronomical observations we make about the night sky. So anyway, this full moon was happening in Pisces on Friday the 13th, and it just made this whole day yesterday was quite a weird one, because I walked home around 11 o'clock, got back in the door at midnight, and walking home last night, the full moon was insane. It was so bright, almost as bright as it is today. But when you look at something, if you guys saw it last night, it was amazing. Just on the principle that it almost blinded you, because the luminescence of the moon's surface was so bright. It's a harvest moon, so I think the harvest moon means that it's a full moon in September. Anyway, but I crammed so much into yesterday that it was a whirlwind of a day, because it was a Friday. And Friday, when you work in London, no matter what time of day it is, most likely you're gonna get the mad rush of crazy weekend people and tourism at the same time. So I was going to work for 4 o'clock, and yesterday decided to be the day that I was going to make a lasagna from scratch. I was going to get my hair cut, and then was going to make chocolate cake before we were going to work. I made the kitchen into a state. I was running out the door, and then realised, oh shit, it's Friday afternoon. The traffic is horrendous going from Camberwell to New Cross Gate, and I'm going to be late for work. And I was late for work for like 3 minutes. And it's the first time I've been late for work because I hadn't worked a Friday really in a while, and I hadn't, in my head, planned or thought ahead of the traffic and the timings. So I left my usual time, and I was like, oh shit, it's busier than usual. I should have left 10 minutes earlier. So I know for next Friday to make it different. Anyway, and then got to work, it was quiet. But last night was probably the busiest shift I've had so far at the sale loft. Now I know, and I'm out of my place of where I work. You guys can all come and visit me in Greenwich on the front by the Cutty Salt. Yeah, come and say that. It's the location. It's watching the sunset. It also is a Friday night. It's also the weekend where all the University of Greenwich and local universities all are having the first week induction. It's Freshers Week. We're going into the new season or the new semester, new term, and it was a crazy busy weekend. And last night it went from 0 to 60 in a matter of minutes. We weren't understaffed. We were prepared. And then all of a sudden we went from empty pub to packed. There was no tables. There was nothing spared. Everything was full. I had tables downstairs. The kitchen had tickets flying out of it. We had a 40-minute wait at the pass. And upstairs was also rammed for the restaurant. So it was nice to see the sale loft at full capacity. It's not that I'm not showing my belly, but I just want to be a bit more presentable to... Yeah. So right now I'm quite hot, I'll take this off. But nipples are out, sorry. But it was the first time in a long time I can think of where it was a night shift, evening shift, and I was slammed. Completely. Just like... I didn't get my break till like 20 past 10 because I went from 4 straight through. But also we had live music last night. It was a great environment. We had... I even turned up from work with a new haircut. I was wearing red shorts and a white shirt. And I was happy to work that big because I thought I was walking in this heat, this sunshine, all day. But unfortunately, the one bad thing against the sale loft is the fact that the sun is behind the building. And the front of the River Thames is there. So there is no sunshine. There's no heat. There's no sunshine coming here until the sun comes to this point over here. And it takes time because it is cold in the shade. You can still feel the fact that it's not summer anymore because when the sun is disappeared and there's no heat from the actual sunshine, then you can feel that it's cold. So I walked in with red shorts like up to here. And then a white shirt. And the first hour because I was late, a little bit late. It was just for me to get back into work. And I was really excited that I shop a new haircut, I'm showing my braces. But then when I realised I was going to be outside, I realised I'm getting excited again, so I'm now talking a bit faster than usual. I then changed back into trousers. And then I was in trousers the entire night. But I had some most amazing tables last night. Everyone was there getting drunk. There was music playing, there was a live crowd, there was families, there was a little girl dancing along to Ed Sheeran's music. There was the pub dog, I called him Charlie. And his, let's say owner, I still haven't got his name yet, but apparently they're quite their local residents of the Greenwich area, and they come in all the time, and the dog is like the most amazing thing to run around, called Tabakimo. Just a good night. And I came out, it was boom was booming. So yeah, I went out 10 minutes. So I have now not stopped talking about astronomy. I've got an itchy back. Right, forget it. I'm going to do that because it's easy that way, and my nipples are going to start poking out again because they're cold. But I just want to say that Friday the 13th has been successful, even though I was crazy running around for it. I came home feeling accomplished, rewarded. I now have Saturday off, and the sun's shining, so I'm going to go out exploring into the city. Made a few more videos. Let's see how this happens. I'm currently watching Once Upon a Time on Netflix. I'm kind of going back into the Once Upon a Time world. Just because Disney heroes and superheroes and things like that, it's all kind of verging into the whole Flash season coming up. And also the new last season of Arrow, Power Rangers, I'm hoping can be on Netflix in the next few days. So exciting stuff. And that was good. Right guys, I will speak to you a bit later on. I'm now going to upload this now to YouTube because I need to be more perspicuous with what I say. And I will see you guys later.